Alright guys, so if you saw my video earlier, I was doing the tri-tips for my dad's birthday. I'm also doing some baby back ribs. So this one is actually a 3-pack. I get most of my meat from Costco. They just have really good meat and pretty good prices. You see, this one's $3.99 a pound. Yeah, just good ones. So we're gonna get this opened up, and then we're gonna take the membrane off. I'll show you that, and then we're gonna be doing our rub on this. Okay, so I got them out of the packaging. All I did was I did wipe them down with a paper towel. Never wash your meat. There's a bunch of stuff that shows it's not good for it. It spreads bacteria and stuff everywhere. So just pat dry it down. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the membrane removed, which is sometimes super easy. Most of the time it's kind of a pain. I will use my tool of choice, which will be a butter knife and paper towels. And basically you're trying to get this removed here because smoke, seasoning won't penetrate this. It's not going to be a bad rib if you don't do it. This just adds to the flavor and the texture by removing it. I've also done it before where I've scored it, and it's okay that way, but you still kind of get a tough skin on the back, so I always just remove it. Good try. So you kind of want to find one of these bones, and you just slowly work your butter knife up underneath it, and then you're gonna get it to kind of detach itself, really. You'll know when you do it because you'll hear, I don't know if you can hear that, but let's see if I can kind of show you what I'm doing here. So you're just going up underneath it and removing that. And then once you get it lifted up, you just want to use a paper towel and really get in there. And just remove that's junk, get rid of it, and then clean up any little bit you have left. But mine is stuck. Have a little bit at the end here. It's usually nice when it comes off all in one thing, but you can just work at it and get all the little pieces off. Alright, so after you get all the membrane moved off, you can go through and trim it up a little bit. Just cut off these little extra pieces that aren't going to really do anything. Just clean it up, make it easier to cook. On ribs though, you really want to feel for any loose fragments of bone. Like there's one right here that I want to get out of there. And this one's actually pretty good. There's sometimes you'll get some where this one's kind of an example. You see there's a bone at the very end here. That's just going to fall off during cook. So you can just take that off now and then just cook all meat. I mean, like this guy's got a big kind of chunk hanging off here. You can just take that off. That way it doesn't burn up during the cook as well. And it also has a little tiny bone at the end here that's just going to fall off. So you just want to get this cleaned up, and this one actually has a little riblet at the end. That's what you typically find on the spare ribs. So just go through, get it all cleaned up, and then start seasoning. So once you get it cleaned up where you're happy with it, doesn't have to be perfect. On the last video you saw that I used the Worcestershire sauce as a binder for the beef. Just kind of pairs with it better. This one you're going to use yellow mustard. I use yellow mustard. And then we're using our pork and poultry Traeger seasoning, which is actually apple honey rub. Really, really good with this. You don't have to use mustard, but in the end it doesn't give it any flavor. It doesn't change the flavor. It just, again, it's just to help with the binding of the rub so that you can get that rub to stick. Now I typically will do the bottom bone side first because that's the side that's going down on the grill. That's not the pretty side, and that way the top stays nice and clean. And then yeah, you just want to go in with nice thick coating on here. The ribs will take probably at about 225. They'll take probably about 4 or 5 hours to cook. Usually, when I start seeing pretty good pullback on it, which is about 3 or 4 hours in, I'll wrap them up. So, and on these ones I will wrap up in foil. Sometimes I'll do the brown sugar, butter, and honey with it. Most of the time I just wrap them up how they are. That way they get a little bit more tenderized while they cook. So my sous chef is waiting to find out what's for dinner tonight. Hey, are you waiting for dinner? Well, it's gonna be a while. So I got them seasoned up, both sides. You can kind of already see they're starting to get a little wet, which is this rub working. So we're gonna get these wrapped up and set in the fridge for a while, and then we'll get them put on the smoker a little bit later. All right, so I got them on. They look pretty. Probably gonna hit them up with just a little bit more seasoning, and then I'll check back in on them in about, gosh, 3 hours or so. See where we're at. So we're gonna check on this. It's been going for about 2.5 hours now. I think I'm going to switch the rotation on these, and then I'm gonna hit it with a little spritz. It's gonna be a little mixture of apple cider vinegar and some, probably diluted with a little bit of water. Alright, so we're gonna check this out, see what it's really working. So you can see the pullback on these are pretty much done. So I think I'm gonna sauce them up and put them back on for another 15-20 minutes, let them tack up, and they're done. So I got these sauced up, put back on here. Decided I'm going to try something different that I haven't done yet, and I'm going to try and actually reverse sear the last one and see how that turns out.